Hi, I'm Joe Isuzu. Actually, not really. But I am here today to talk to you about my newest acquisition, my Toyota truck, which I just got a couple of days ago. The old Ford was getting ready to give up the ghost, so I decided it was time, after again 13 years and 220 plus miles, to get a new reliable four-wheel drive for the North Country, and that's what you're looking at right there. Yes, sir. So let's go ahead and go inside and see what we shall see. Oops, that was probably a bad camera move there. Okay, so here we are in my little humble kitchen, which I absolutely love this little kitchen, even though it's kind of almost seems like it goes back to the 1950s almost. I sure love it. So let's have a little sit down and a chat, shall we? All right, get some coffee here. Isn't that good? And here you happen to see the Cissus rhombifolias that I've been looking for. And so there we have it. I got two of them, and I don't know, they kind of balance nicely on the old light fixture there. I just watered them about 6-7 hours ago, so they're pretty much dry enough to hang, and then probably water them when I get back, because why I am going on a trip. We'll talk to you about that in just a moment.
And so I definitely wanted to play the guitar.
Okay, well, let's see how this is doing here.
I also love how you love classic in a specific way.
Okay.
On vinyl.
Yeah, collecting
That's
vinyl
good.
is one of my big hobbies. I
well.
spend a lot of time at Goodwill.
Listening to a little bit of radio here,
So,
and got my cup of coffee, and I'm doing pretty good, Pipe House, because I'm Joe Isuzu. Anyway, I've always wanted to say that. I've always wanted to open up my videos and say, hi, I'm Joe Isuzu. Okay, I'm going to get it out of my system. Okay. Well, delicious. Oh, it's been it's been a pretty darn good weekend, I think. And I'm smoking still the GBD. And man, let's see, I haven't had let's see, last time I had a pipe was probably the last time I made a video. Smoking my Joby. Love this pipe. I was looking at my Robert Burns Macaulay pipe, my Halloweeny pipe. If you go back to some of my older videos a few years ago, I found these wonderful, I think I have one, maybe I have two, maybe I can't remember. I know I have one, and it just is the most gorgeous. It looks so organic and even kind of Halloweeny. So I can't wait till I get back, and I'm gonna fire up my Robert Burns Macaulay Halloweeny pipe. Here we are in the middle of September, and life is pretty good. Although they are predicting that on the 23rd the world's going to come to an end. So I hope you're ready. Oh, that's wonderful. That's glorious. Glorious stuff. My goodness. Well, I want to tell you something. I know most of you, some of you have commented on the videos thus far, and you've talked a little bit about your experiences when it comes to LCHF, low carb, high fat. And believe it or not, it is a little bit after 3 o'clock. It's almost 3:30. What I had this morning around 7 o'clock may surprise you, what I had for my breaking my fast, so to speak. My true break fast. And you're probably wondering, well, maybe you're not wondering. Maybe you could care less, and that's okay too. What I had this morning, should that'll work. Believe it or not, all I had for breakfast this morning was a cup of coffee with some heavy cream in it and a little square of butter. Now, as I might have explained in the last video, and I talked about LCHF, sometimes known as the paleo diet or the primal blueprint diet or the Atkins diet or the low carb diet. You know, I will tell you this, sorry if I'm changing thoughts like I normally do, but I had a little bit of the Annandale flake in this, and although this is in English, the little bit of ghosting seems to marry up really well with this. In fact, I'm thinking about doing an experiment. Sometimes pipe tobacco for me it's not just smoking a pipe, but there's a food related thing here, and I don't know exactly what it is, but you know, get a lot of us like smoke. They made this as the tie-in. Yesterday I was at a birthday party, and we had a lot of smoked meats, literally. Smoked sausages, smoked chicken, smoked tri-tip. And I had that yesterday at about pretty much 24 hours ago, maybe 12 hours later from now. But anyway, I mean 24 by 26 hours later. And so anyway, maybe that's the tie-in there. But there's I don't know, there's something about it that satisfies the appetite or kind of mimics something that is related more to food. Sometimes, again, even in a fasting, a really good pipe tobacco and a pipe and a cup of coffee is kind of like a little bit of a snack. I know that sounds weird, but it's true. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm enjoying this, and again, I've been amazed at the fact that there's a guy on YouTube. And there's billions of people on YouTube, as you know. But his name is Butter Bob Briggs. And I want to just put a shout out to him because he was a 320-pound gentleman. And he discovered, and he got it. I guess he got it right off the bat. He understood what was going on in the LCHF, or low carb, high fat, the ketogenic diet. In his inaugural video was "Butter Makes Your Pants Fall Off." And it just hit me, and I've been now in ketosis for about 7 days. I started about 10 days ago, but it takes about 3 to 4 days before your body begins to adapt. Now I'm not fully adapted. I've been watching other keto people and LCHF people, and they've made two things very clear to me. One, that getting into true ketosis, it takes actually about 3 weeks to get truly fat adapted. And then also, the thing that you have to not be afraid of is, the good fats. Because if you're going to go low carb, you have to replace the low carb with the high fat. And I think I said this in the last video, and I had one person say he didn't really like it when I talked a lot about health and fitness, and I apologize, but it's kind of what I'm into, and pipe smoking really helps me kind of stay on track. and I hope it helps you guys as you listen to these videos. But the high fat portion of it was something I kind of like, well, I'll just eat lean meats and I'll eat salads and I'll eat fruit, and that's going to be great, right? Well, again, fruit, as much as I love fruit, I adore fruit. But fruit, and I think it was even Chris and a couple other people commented, I started eating fruit again, and guess what? I put on a few pounds. Okay, well, I'm not surprised. Not surprised. And one person even said, I guess, even smoking does maybe cause some a raise in your insulin or something to that effect. Now, I would probably say cigarette smoking. I don't know about pipe smoking, because it's kind of a different animal altogether. Oh, and by the way, speaking of cigarettes and pipes and cigars, the lovely lady, I had a video up not too long ago, maybe about a year ago, about Little Havana cigar shop in Vacaville. The lovely lady that was there, her name is Misty, and yesterday, or actually, was it Friday? Friday, we had a really nice goodbye for Misty. I couldn't go because I was here, and plus driving down to Vacaville is about it's about a 3-hour drive one way. So anyway, as much as I wanted to go and be there, things here at the parish kind of prevented me from. If I could have left a little earlier and been there, I probably would have. I actually seriously considered it, but I did find we have an interesting. We don't have a really nice tobacco shop. We have another shop that kind of is a secondary shop, but they do sell fine cigars, and so I went and got a Julio Romeo y Julieta cigar, and in her honor, I smoked it. Now she's not, she didn't pass away. She's just gonna go do something else with her life, but she's been there for several years, and really a nice lady, and I always had a nice encounter with her. She was always very helpful, very friendly, and just a nice person. Had a wonderful sense of humor. Has a wonderful sense of humor. So I always enjoyed spending a little bit of time. I'd buy a cigar there, and sometimes I'd sit and get a cup of coffee and watch TV with them. And they had a fashion show, kind of like a spoof on fashion shows. And I mean, something I would never watch, but Misty was watching it in the man cave with some other gentlemen and drinking coffee and smoking. And I just sat down and enjoyed this wonderful hour or so. And in fact, it was one of those times in my life where I was pretty stressed out. And the Judo by Ravel. Beautiful piece of music here.
So, Harry, what did the painting show you?
Anyway, so, but anyway, just salute Misty and say thank you, Misty, if you're watching. Probably not. And if you ever do, you're wonderful, and wish you all the best. Anyway, getting back to old Butter Bob Briggs, that's his channel, and he lost 145 pounds in 14 months, and he looks fantastic, and he's got his health back. But he's really made it clear to me that if you're going to do low carb, high fat, you got to not be afraid of the fat. You just can't. And so, and he said something that just absolutely floored me. He said that butter, real butter, not margarine, not fake stuff, but the real butter, grass-fed butter, is an appetite suppressant. And that is something that just intrigued me, because about this summer I've had a on and off again. I started the Whole30 diet. I think I did one in April, then I did another one in June, and I kind of lost maybe 4 or 5 pounds. But then in July and part of August, I kind of just, I didn't get totally irresponsible, but I just said, doggone, I'm tired of tracking calories, because that's what I was trying to do, and without very much success, I must add. Lighter. There it is. And so I started thinking, well, maybe I need to try to eat healthier, not just paleo, but really be more healthier about it. And I said, I just need to probably incorporate some good carbs, you know, and I used to love oatmeal, still do. I mean, I'm not talking about the stuff that's prepackaged with sugar and spices. I'm talking about good old-fashioned oatmeal, whether the steel-cut oats or the rolled oats. And so I was eating that in the mornings, and by golly, an hour and a half later, maybe an hour and 45 minutes later, I'd be ravenous. You know, I was ready to eat my arm off. And I thought, but I had an apple and again a bowl of oatmeal. I mean, with no sugar. And I thought this would tide me over at least until, you know, noontime. No luck. So I'd go through these incredible hunger pangs and suffer through and, you know, bite the bullet, and then I'd, you know, have my lunch, and then I'd have a dinner, but it just wasn't working. So anyway, that being said, I found this guy, Bob Briggs, an awesome guy. Great story, great talks, makes it really clear, but really emphasizes that you've got to do the fats. You just can't. If you're going to go low carb, see, the thing is that with a ketogenic diet, you're now trying to go from being a carb burner to a fat burner. And if you're not ingesting dietary fat, which helps with your satiety, and also, you know, again, here I am almost, 8 hours later. I had a little, you know, I had a cup of coffee and a little pat of grass-fed butter, and that's all I've had today. Now I'm ready to have my dinner now. Probably I'll have my early dinner, and I'll have a nice salad, a good salad, green salad, and then I'll have a little bit of, I think I'm gonna have some pork chops, and maybe some eggs, and that'll be my dinner. And I will tell you that will be enough, and I will be full, and I probably won't eat anything until tomorrow again. So there you go. So as simple as it sounds, and maybe as alarming as it may sound to some people, LCHF means what it means. Low carb, high fat. So there you go. So anyway, I'm getting ready. To go back to the seminary in some ways tomorrow. And I haven't been there in like 20 years. So I will be going back for a week. It's they have at the seminary or close to it a workshop for the people like me, new pastors in training. So I will be packing up my bags and just getting ready to go for tomorrow. So I'm going to map out my route tomorrow, plug in my coordinates, because I haven't been there in a long time, and I'm just kind of wondering, I kind of remember there was a little network of back roads that I would go to get down there, because I didn't like going down the main drag. I like going out through Fremont, over the Dumbarton Bridge, and into Palo Alto that way. And I'm kind of excited because Palo Alto, as many of you probably know, was where the late, great Steve Jobs actually held forth and lived. And and again, I think I told you in a last video I did, I really enjoyed, and I finally got into really enjoyable exercise and fitness. And so I'm looking forward to, sometime this week, and maybe, please God, I can do it every day I'm there, but taking a run walk along that same neighborhood trail that I went many, many years ago and lost the weight the first time. So I'm kind of looking to really reconnect with that. I have a video of me in my seminary room, and I have the person that came and did the video. He was a dear friend, still is, and he videotaped everything in my room, including my pipe collection. I'd like to see that video again if I can find it. because I really thought that was a really special video. In fact, I think he actually sent me a DVD of the thing. I have a VHS, but I think he actually sent me a DVD of the same video, which I loved. So anyway, I will be going back down to Menlo Park tomorrow morning, and looking forward to that in some ways. In some ways, it's sort of like reconnecting with your past. Again, I won't hit on this too hard. My seminary experience was not that great. I mean, in the last maybe 10 years, I finally kind of made a little bit of peace with that reality that it wasn't everything that I thought and hoped and believed it should have been. But nonetheless, you know, I am grateful for the experience. It was a good experience. So, So anyway, here's my little thought that has been rattling around in my little brain housing group the last, maybe a couple days. Kind of got distilled a little bit. But, a lot of things I see on the internet and, oh, by the way, did you hear about the September the 23rd being probably the end of the world? They talk a lot about different things. It's not just one thing. It's has to do with the Shemitah, I guess the end of the 7 years of the Shemitah cycle coming to an end around the 23rd. Supposedly, you're supposed to let things, lay fallow, and, if you had been observant of God's laws and everything, then on the last day, God would bring forth a blessing. But a lot of people feel that the world has turned its back on God, so now instead of a blessing, judgment will come. If I understand that correctly, again, I'm not a Jewish rabbi, but that's what I've been told it means. I've been told that people are concerned about the collider, the particle collider in CERN, Switzerland, and somehow they're trying to open up or create a black hole. That doesn't sound very healthy. Let's see. They're talking about the possibility of another meteorite, which I think there was one that hit Russia just last year or within the last year. But one that could very much devastate the planet, if not completely wipe that out. Let's see, there's talking about an economic collapse. I'm also hearing lots of reports or rumors about earthquakes, 9.0 earthquakes on the horizon. I'm going to talk about financial collapse. Did I throw that one in there too? Yeah, something like that. Just all sorts of things. Pope Francis is the Antichrist, they say. He and Barack Obama are going to usher in a new world order run by the Illuminati. Aliens, I think, or some aliens are supposed to come back, like giants, Nephilim or something like that. Anyway, it sounds like real George Neary stuff. And again, I think those things are fascinating and interesting. And there are some people that really do believe that things are going to get pretty ugly. I hope they don't. Again, I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but maybe you can drop a note on that one. And the other thing I was just thinking about, because I look on the internet and everything, well, not everything, but a lot of things on the internet, I think they have it as their foundation as what's going to make people happy. And that's an elusive thing, I think, happiness. I'm happy right now. I feel pretty good. I got a pipe, I got music, I got coffee, and got kind of my digital companionship here with you guys and gals. So, I guess it's kind of relative. And so I don't know what people are looking for in life. I think we all are looking for love and acceptance and the ability to also give back that love and acceptance, for the most part. To have people you share your life with, the joys and the sorrows. I think if you have people in your life that, family and friends, like I was at a beautiful birthday party yesterday, I looked around and there were just a lot of wonderful people just loving being together. From older people like me to little kids running around, and the young people now that kind of took my place, a few years ago, and they're living their lives and living their dreams and building their futures and all that good stuff. It's just really nice to see that. So anyway, I don't know what makes you happy. Again, maybe it is just the simple pleasures in life. I think that really the simple pleasures in life are really the best. I really believe that. I would have to say I'm a very content person, and I think if you're content, you're gonna be able to experience happiness, peace, and joy. Now, are there things in the world that I wish were not realities? Yeah, I probably do. I don't understand what's going on with the refugee thing going on in Europe. That just seems like a real catastrophe that's happening. And all these misplaced people. It's just a real upsetting experience, to see people on one hand being, I guess, forced out of their country, but in another, the other people now that are kind of being forced to now accommodate people that they may not be able to accommodate, at least not in a very positive or really a great affirming way. It's a real shock to any economic and social system to have people just coming into their country without any kind of a process to really truly help them assimilate and be accepted. It's just like it's like probably colliding planets or something. It's like it may not be a great idea, but it's happening, and how do we deal with it? Again, people looking for happiness, people looking for whatever they're looking for, and sometimes they find desperate ways to achieve their happiness. So anyway, I don't know if any of that makes sense to you today, but I hope you're having I hope you had a fantastic weekend. I hope you have a great week ahead. And hopefully when I get back, I'll maybe have some cool video clips to share with you of my little walk run in my old neighborhood. Kind of show you, I'll even show you the seminary, and just kind of show you some highlights of what I was going through and the people I was doing it with. Okay, how's that sound? All right. Well, again, light up your world, light up your pipe, heat up your cup, your mug, and enjoy life. And, we'll take it 1 calorie at a time. All right. See you now. Bye-bye.